Hey guys, welcome in. Time for another episode of Maul Shadow Lord, or well, pair of episodes, obviously. This is for episodes, I want to say
5 and 6.
5 and 6. I don't know why I wanted to say something else. Anyway, this for episodes 5 and 6. We're a little late to this one, unfortunately, but it's mostly due to the fact that I'm in the middle of a move. So you'll have to forgive my little bit of stiffness too. But anyway, I'm joined again by the lovely Lex Coyote, as always. We're fresh
Hi.
off another rewatch of the episodes to get it fresh in our minds, and so we're going to give you our thoughts and opinions on the episodes, and we'll go from there. So, what did you think of these two episodes? Obviously.
Things are ramping up. Episode 5, the Empire's here, and they're not playing around because we are joined now by one of our favorite characters from Ahsoka, the first brother, Inquisitor, and he is after Maul. And while he's after Maul, he happens upon the Jedi Master and the Padawan, and things don't go well for them.
Yeah, I mean that's one way to put it for sure. It is interesting to see Marok in action because in the Ahsoka series he's kind of a wet noodle, but it's kind of nice to see him in this show where they've made him way more intimidating, way more fearsome. He's at his peak prime, whatever you want to call it. It was interesting to see upon the Empire's arrival. They've got Star Destroyers now, but they're still using TK troopers, gunships, and stuff. They're still in that transition period, but that's to be expected as the show is only set a year after the Bad Batch ended. So we're still in that transitional time period, which, on a quick note, it does, you see in the gunships in use by stormtroopers, makes me wonder why they ever decided to stop using them. They're so efficient, but I digress.
They kind of get blown apart really easily.
Well, that's also because they're chasing characters with plot armor. On that note, these episodes were fantastic. I mean, the pacing build up has been intense. We're jumping straight into the action. There's like no breaks at all. It was really, really nice to see the effects of how the Empire is affecting everyone around like all of our characters at this point. Like Maul knows what's coming, obviously, but he's sticking around because of Devin, which I thought was funny that the Mandalorian that she's like, why do you even want to care about this girl? She tried to kill you, and then Maul's like, exactly. That makes her the perfect apprentice. Because it's just in keeping with this whole Sith thing. He might not be necessarily a Sith anymore, but he was still trained as one, so it is interesting. But I think the MVP for these two episodes for me was Lawson.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the whole story of, like, you're seeing this police detective who so far has gotten by on a planet that has slipped under the Empire's radar until now, and now he's having to shelter his son, which the mom, as the plot described, the mom works for the Empire on Coruscant, so that's not a good family dynamic. So, like, you have a mom in the Empire and a dad who's an independent police officer, peace-loving, normal guy, and you have this kid now caught in the middle, learning about Jedi and learning that he even says, like, he says to the kid, like, the Empire is not what you thought. What were your thoughts on that whole thing with the family dynamic?
The family dynamic, it's a lot of familiar tropes with a lot of, like, detective shows and stuff, but I actually find that it works really well in this setting, so I don't mind it. I'm glad that the son isn't, like, the nagging, complainy type. Like, he's not immediately sides with one parent over the other. He seems to care about both equally. Which
I'm gonna say it. There's CG character designs, right? Does the kid remind you of anybody?
Nobody that comes to mind off the top of my head.
Not Star Wars, but the character looks similar in design to the main character from Big Hero 6. Have you seen that?
No, I could
The
see it.
kind of
I could see it. I could see it a little bit. But yeah, beyond that, the thing that I was interested to learn about Lawson, and my prediction is that he wasn't always a police officer. Obviously, he worked with a bounty hunter at one point. My theory for him is I think he was a smuggler at one point. That's my
Yeah, he
that'd be
kind of
my
has that. I'm gonna say it. He kind of has that Han Solo kind of swagger.
There's apparently like a lot of people I've seen, like at least on Twitter especially, who are like super thirsty over his character, mostly due to the voice, which again, same voice actor for Death Wolf from Puss in Boots, and you know how people feel about him, especially within our community. But
Yes.
it was really nice to see everyone working together. There was, I won't lie, the episode 6 had a lot of fake out moments where they really had you thinking, oh, they're gonna die right here, oh, they're gonna die right here, oh, they're gonna die right here, but then they just keep not dying. Like, I hate saying it, but I really don't see the Jedi Master surviving beyond season 1. We know we're getting season 2, but I don't see him surviving the end. I think his death is going to be a very critical development.
Look, it's okay to call out predictable plots when there are predictable plots. It's obvious at some point something's going to happen to the Jedi Master to kind of like bring Devin under Maul's wing to where Devin becomes. It's going to happen. We just don't know how.
No, I know. The better question that the episode 6 ended on was the cliffhanger of who do you think Marok was talking to on the hologram?
Well, Marok is Vader's apprentice.
Not apprentice. The Inquisitors are not apprentices.
Well, actually, yeah, in the character background on Marok, it actually says he trained under Vader and is kind of his apprentice, but the Inquisitors don't work for Vader, they work for the Emperor.
No,
that's what I was getting to. The Inquisitors. I thought they worked for.
The hierarchy, for those who don't know, for you as the viewer, the hierarchy of the Inquisitorium was they were assigned to Vader by the Emperor, but Vader assigns the Grand Inquisitor, who's also over on top of all, who oversees the indoctrination, induction, and training of the Inquisitors. All the Inquisitors at one point have to duel Vader. Now, Vader will almost kill all of them because of one reason. The Inquisitors are purposely set up in a way where they're just strong enough to defeat the Jedi in hiding, but none of them can prove a challenge to Vader or Palpatine because they're never meant to, serve beyond
That's
that
what
purpose.
I'm saying. The Vader and Palpatine kind of like they give up the whole Sith like apprentice master thing when they found the Empire, but they kind of like still do it, and that's kind of what the Inquisitors are. The Inquisitors are trained killing machines by Vader, specially trained to go after and hunt down and kill the rest of the Jedi that they didn't get for Order 66. I know what the Inquisitors are.
Most, if not every single Inquisitor, is actually a former Jedi that fell out with the Order at one point or another. There's a lot to them. They're very complex. To call them apprentices, I think, would not be accurate at all. Mostly because that's not how Vader and Palpatine view them. I think they're very adamant that they're not Sith.
Well, they do it differently. That's what I just said that.
It's funny. It is funny though, because when you think about it, it's kind of Palpatine's way of skirting around. He's like, well, technically, if I don't call them Sith. But anyway, I digress. It's a whole thing. I could do a video on it for sure. But the theory is obviously he's either talking to Vader or he's talking to the Grand Inquisitor. I want to say Vader, mostly just because I want what a lot of other fans want, which is we want to see a showdown between Maul and Vader.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Is it fan service? Absolutely, but it's still wanted.
Honestly, one of my favorite parts of episode 6 was the lightsaber battle on the train between Maul and the Inquisitor, and how Devin and Maul were kind of like teaming up for the first time in a fight against the Inquisitor, and it was a pretty lightsaber fight.
There's a fun moment during the fight. It's kind of an Easter egg at the very end. There's a moment where both of them start twirling their lightsabers, which, for those of you who are in the know and without saying too much, well, I guess it does say a lot, but spoilers for Ahsoka and spoilers for Rebels, those moves that those two do towards each other are actually their final moves before they're struck down. They parallel each other. It's actually kind of funny. But anyway, we could sit here and ramble about it forever. Ultimately, at the end of the day, though, what did you think? Did you like these episodes? Do you think they just keep building the pace? Do you...
I think the pacing and the plot of this particular series, not just because it's Star Wars, I actually think it's really well written so far. I'm
I'd have
liking
to
the
agree.
plot beats.
It definitely feels like just a very proper, mature continuation of what I'm calling just a really good timeline of animated shows. I mean, you've got the entire Clone Wars series from start to end. You get to see everything from like the beginning of the Clone Wars all the way to up through Order 66. Then you jump into Bad Batch and you get to see the birth of the Empire. And now you go into Maul and you get to see more of like the Inquisitors in their early days in action. You're getting to see the birth of like the rise of a bigger criminal underworld. Like we're getting spoiled for sure on this little train ride of animation shows that's going up. And then eventually we'll get Rebels, which obviously shows what it shows, but it is going to be interesting to see how the show ends. Because unlike us, other content creators got to see the first 8 episodes early, but the one thing that nobody has seen is the final 2 episodes. Episodes 9 and 10. So it'll be definitely interesting to see how that ends, because they're saving episodes 9 and 10 for May the 4th, which, you know, May 4th is a Star Wars holiday. May the 4th be with you, but I digress. But yeah. So that was episodes 5 and 6 of Maul Shadowlord, guys. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, and as always, stay kind, stay humble. May the Force be with you. I'm Asher. This is Lex. Take care.